Welcome to this urgent legal explainer. For our time together today, I want you to imagine something for me. Imagine I'm your criminal defense attorney, and you're sitting right across the desk from me in my office for an absolutely critical consultation. We're going to cover one of the most vital and, honestly, most misunderstood parts of the whole American legal system. Listen, the stakes in an interrogation room are insanely high. Just one misstep can literally alter the rest of your life. Knowing the unwritten rules of the game, that is your only true defense. Okay, let's dive into this.
I want to hit you right off the bat with a scenario that's going to totally shatter this illusion we have of the honest interrogation room. Picture this. You're brought in for questioning. The lights, uncomfortably bright. The room is claustrophobic, right? And an officer leans across this cold metal table, looks you dead in the eye, and says, "Look, we already know everything. Your friend, they already confessed." Man, it is a paralyzing moment. It's explicitly designed to make your stomach just drop. But right here, right now, in the safety of our little consultation, I need you to ask yourself, should you actually believe them?
Well, what if I told you that statement could be a complete, utter fabrication? Yep, this is the harsh, deeply unsettling reality that so many people just don't get about police questioning in the U.S. The police are legally allowed to use deception. And no, this isn't some rogue, off-the-books tactic. It's a standard that was actually upheld by the Supreme Court decades ago. They can trick you. They can flat-out lie to your face about the evidence they have against you. They can literally make up fake witnesses who supposedly saw you at the scene. This isn't just movie stuff, it's the real-world justice system. Understanding this one, simple, brutal fact is the absolute foundation of protecting yourself.
All right, let's move into a real threat assessment here. When you step into that interrogation room, you are not just walking into some random office. You're walking into a highly controlled environment that is meticulously designed by investigators. Psychologically speaking, the room is literally built to make you feel isolated, totally vulnerable, and completely dependent on the officers sitting across from you. Their primary goal? Gathering information. And honestly, securing a confession by pretty much any means necessary. Because the average person has no idea the police can legally lie to them, they walk in with their guard completely down, expecting, a fair, transparent chat. But let me be clear, a fair fight is absolutely not what's happening in there.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how systematically they break you down. To mentally and psychologically stack the deck against you, investigators rely on three heavily trained tactics. First up is pressure. They create this artificial, suffocating sense of urgency, like you have to explain yourself right this very second, or you're going to lose your chance forever. Second, emotional tactics. They'll play on your guilt, your deepest fears, or, and this is a classic, they'll do the good cop routine, pretending to be your one true friend who just wants to help you out of a jam. And third, strategic questioning. They frame inquiries in a manipulative way that assumes you're already guilty, subtly backing you into a conversational corner where literally any answer you give makes you look suspicious.
So, knowing their tactics is essential, sure. But I need to shift your focus to something way more critical. The greatest danger in that room? It isn't actually what the police are doing to you, it's what you might do to yourself. Under all that manufactured pressure and emotional manipulation, people consistently fall into a totally predictable, devastating trap. Get this, in the real world, nearly 30% of DNA exonerations involve completely innocent people who gave false confessions. Why? Because they just broke under this exact illusion that they were totally trapped. They genuinely thought that talking was their only way out.
And this brilliantly illustrates the heart of the problem. The absolute single biggest mistake folks make in these super tense situations is talking way too much without getting legal advice. When you're stressed out and being lied to, the natural, deeply ingrained human urge is to over-explain, right? To argue the facts, to try and just frantically talk your way out of the room. We all just want to be understood. But as your attorney today, I am telling you, that instinct is disastrous. It will bury you. The only correct approach when facing trained interrogators is to keep a calm, highly respectful demeanor while saying absolutely nothing of substance. You just cannot win their game by playing it.
Surviving police questioning doesn't actually start with some deep encyclopedic knowledge of constitutional case law. Nope. It begins entirely with mastering your own mind and your own emotions. The very second you let raw fear take the wheel, the second you let their deceptive tricks rattle your emotional baseline, well, you're playing right into their hands. That's what they want. They are looking for panic. They want to see those cracks in your armor. So, keeping a tight lock on your mind and emotions, that is absolutely your first line of defense.
So, let's go over your urgent, non-negotiable checklist for keeping that composure. Step 1, stay calm. Just breathe deliberately. Mentally remind yourself that this whole high-pressure environment is totally manufactured just to break you. Step 2,
Be respectful. Look, you gain absolutely nothing by being argumentative, sarcastic, or physically resistant. Nothing. It only hurts your case. And step 3, do not panic. I seriously cannot stress this enough. Panic leads to catastrophic, irreversible legal mistakes. Panic is the exact mechanism that makes you abandon your rights and start talking way too much.
Okay, so if composure is your first line of defense, knowing your rights is your impenetrable shield. We're moving into the tactical defense phase of our consultation now. Regardless of what the police say to trick you, regardless of how much psychological weight they drop on you in that tiny room, you hold immense legal power. I'm talking United States Constitution-level power. The Fifth and Sixth Amendments are profound tools designed specifically to protect you from the power of the state. But, and this is a huge but, that immense constitutional power is completely, totally useless if you don't know how to invoke it.
Let's move to and see how this builds your actual defense. Here is the clear, step-by-step foundation of the rights guaranteed to you. Number 1, you must know that you have the absolute right to remain silent. You do not have to answer their questions, you don't have to explain where you were or justify anything you did, period. Number 2, you have the right to a lawyer. You don't have to navigate this highly deceptive, dangerous minefield all by yourself. You have the right to have expert counsel sitting right there beside you. These rights matter immensely, but listen to me, they only protect you if you actively, vocally use them.
And it's not enough to just sit there quietly, stare at the floor, or politely decline a question. No. To truly shut down an interrogation where cops are legally allowed to lie to you, you have to deploy exact, literal phrases. I want you to mentally rehearse the specific phrases we're about to go over. Burn them into your memory. Practice them in your bathroom mirror tonight if you have to. These are the specific, polite, yet totally legally binding words you must use to activate those constitutional protections.
The very first phrase is simple, direct, and incredibly powerful. You look the investigator right in the eye and you calmly say, "I want a lawyer." Let that sink in for a second, just that phrase. You don't need to apologize for asking, you don't need to explain why you want one. And whatever you do, do not say, "Maybe I should get a lawyer," or "Do you think I need a lawyer?" No. By calmly and definitively stating this exact sentence, you are telling the authorities that you're invoking your right to counsel. And, legally, all questioning must cease right then and there until your attorney is in the room.
So, the crucial point is pairing that first phrase with the second definitive one. I choose to remain silent. These exact words act as an absolute, impenetrable legal shield against any trick, any lie, and any crazy emotional pressure tactic they try to throw at you. If they say they have your fingerprints, or that your best friend just confessed in the next room, you just say, "I want a lawyer, I choose to remain silent." It completely shuts the door on their strategy with absolute finality. They literally have nowhere else to go with it.
Well, there you have it. We've covered the psychological tactics, the devastating traps, and the precise legal tools you need to defend yourself. Look, the reality of the interrogation room is harsh. Deception is a fully sanctioned tool that the police are ready, willing, and able to use against you. So I'm going to leave you with this final, vital thought. If the lights were flashing and you were placed in that room today, are you truly prepared to protect your rights? Keep learning, keep preparing. Knowledge is your shield, folks. Just make sure you actually know how to wield it.